So, I'm just trying to talk to the sound guy for a sec. The audio was sounding like super staticky. I don't know whether that is, like just now, there's a lot of background hiss. Is that correctable or not?
I don't know what you're hearing. What's the problem?
Sounds like a hiss.
It probably is a hiss in the system.
Okay, well if we can't correct it, then we'll do it.
I will take your hand down to the
It just stopped.
Yeah.
It just stopped. Okay, well, don't do it again. I didn't do anything. So, well, problem is solved. This is good. So let's.
I love this. I think we should get started. Annie's just going to do it.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming. I just want to thank everybody on behalf of the teaching and organizing staff, and thank you so much. Thanks to all the people that helped contribute, faculty, staff, and administration. And I just want to introduce right now my teaching co-organizer, Daniela Doolin, who's going to present Dred Scott, who's just such an incredibly amazing person and has been integral to this effort. Danielle actually attended Duke Ellington School of the Arts in Washington, D.C., where she was a white student in a predominantly black high school. That early education introduced her to the many facets of racial injustice in the United States. In her senior year, she was awarded a full scholarship to attend SBA in New York City. While there, she co-founded Art Students Against Apartheid. After receiving her BFA, she went on to Yale University School of Art for her master's degree in sculpture. Daniela's own studio practice resists genre definition and is invigorated through feminist investigations of personal history and discursive representations of normative, quote, normative behavior. Daniela is currently working on an installation in a collaborative science fiction film about her great-grandmother's spiritual channeling of messages from the 1950s, promising the arrival of a Venusian spaceship carrying a peace and justice delegation to Earth. Daniela came to BARD in 2003. She teaches drawing and sculpture in the Studio Arts program. She's also taught several courses at BPI as a BARD Prison Initiative faculty member. She continues her political and social activism inside and outside of the classroom. After the Blackout BARD event last semester, one of her students was the recipient of an anonymous racist letter. This event and other acts against students of color prompted her to help organize the Teach-In 2016. Danielle is also currently an artist in residence in Studio Arts and is the posse mentor for the amazing Atlanta 7 posse. Please welcome Daniela and thank her.
Thank you, Annie. That was really a nice introduction. And thank you for such an amazing crowd out here. Wow. I didn't know there were so many people interested in the arts. It's great. It is a real pleasure to introduce artist and activist Dred Scott to you tonight. I've known Dred for many years, although I'm not exactly sure when we first met. It was either on the streets or in a gallery. I do know when we really got to know each other, though. It was on September 13th, 2001. A group of artists and activists gathered in a friend's apartment to process the events of 9/11 and to acknowledge that the US government would strike back in retaliation. These conversations led to a collaborative action we called Our Grief Is Not a Cry for War. We performed on September 22nd, 2011 in Union Square and twice in the following weeks in Times Square near the Army Recruitment Center. Dred Scott makes revolutionary art to propel history forward. He first received national attention in 1989 when his art became the center of controversy over its use of the American flag while he was a student at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. President G.H.W. Bush called his art disgraceful and the entire US Senate denounced this work and outlawed it when they passed legislation to protect the flag. His work has been included in recent exhibitions at MoMA PS1, the Walker Art Center, the Brooklyn Museum, and the Pori Art Museum in Finland, as well as on view in Maurizio Catalan's 2006 Whitney Biennial project, The Wrong Gallery. In 2012, BAM, the Brooklyn Academy of Music, presented his performance Dred Scott Decision as part of their 30th anniversary Next Wave Festival. Winkleman Gallery and Christian Tierney in New York have exhibited recent work, and his public sculptures have been installed at Logan Square in Philadelphia and Franconia Sculpture Park in Minnesota. His work is in the collection of the Whitney Museum, the New Museum of Contemporary Art, and the Akron Art Museum. He is a recipient of a Creative Capital Foundation grant, a Paul Krasner Foundation grant, fellowships from the New York Foundation for the Arts, and was a resident at Art Omai International Artist Residency. He works in a range of media, including performance, photography, installations, screen printing, and video. His works can be hard-edged and poignant. He plays with fire, metaphorically and sometimes literally, as when he burned $171 on Wall Street, and encouraged those with money to burn to add theirs to the pyre. Please help me welcome Dred Scott.
Well, thank you, Danielle, and thank you guys for coming out. This is really cool. I am really glad to be up here talking with you and sort of on this important occasion. I mean, you know, you guys are doing a teach-in that was prompted by sort of racist male, and you know, these are heavy times to be living through, and you know, very sharply contradictory. There's a really positive side of both, you know, the events since Ferguson, but also Baltimore, and students all over the country sort of saying they're not going to continue to live in a society that's defined by profound white supremacy and tremendous inequality. So with that as a sort of backdrop, I'm going to show one thing and say, look, at some of my talks, people have been live tweeting. I would say, look, just pay attention, let it wash over you, but if you want to ignore that dictum, those are a couple, that's a hashtag in my handle if you want to use that. And before I talk, I just want to give an intro to sort of that should give some context for the evening, because it's, you know, somebody said there was some sort of election or something going on, so I wanted to have a rejoinder or something as part of that. It should be playing. Okay, let's try and get out of this technical difficulty, see if I can find it, play it through iTunes, and then we will try something else. We might have technical problems later, but let's see this.
I'm no politician. I'm not even a student of politics. I'm not a Republican, nor a Democrat, nor an American, and there's sense enough to know. I'm one of the 22 million black victims of the Democrats. One of the 22 million black victims of the Republicans, and one of the 22 million black victims of Americanism. And when I speak, I don't speak as a Democrat or a Republican. I speak as a victim of America's so-called democracy. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy. When we open our eyes today and look around America, we see America not not through the eyes of someone who has enjoyed the fruits of Americanism. We see America through the eyes of someone who has been the victim of Americanism. We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. We haven't benefited from America's democracy. We've only suffered from America's hypocrisy. And the generation that's coming up now can see it. And I'm not afraid to say it. If you go to jail, so what? If you're black, you were born in jail. If you're black, you were born in jail. In the North as well as the South. Stop talking about the South. As long as you're south of the Canadian border, you're south.
So let's see if we can get the slideshow going a little bit again, and then as Daniela said, I am a multidisciplinary artist. I work in performance and photography and installation and sculpture and screen printing and video. And so part of the question is, well, if I work in all these different media, what kind of coheres it? What makes a Dred Scott work a Dred Scott work? And I tell people that I make revolutionary art to propel history forward. Ah, this does work, cool. And as part of making that revolutionary art, you know, I try and illuminate this era. But the question is, what is this era? And so I've got some questions for you. And the first one is, do you guys have hope for the future? Muted hope. Okay. And we're not going for consensus, but it's okay. A little muted hope. Do you think that the U.S. government tortures people? Yes. All right, emphatic torture. Do you think that the basic rights in this country are being eroded? Yes. Do you think that a country where 1 in 9 young black men is in prison is acceptable? No. Do you think that a country where 1 in 4 women will be battered during her